that go for a second. We here in the studio live, letting the people get in here for a quick second. Gonna let this Instagram do what it do. Okay. Yep, there we go. There we go. Let me turn this on silent. It's getting serious. How you feeling today, man?
Man, all praise and glory to the Most High. I'm feeling fabulous. I can't complain.
Okay, I like that. I like that. Oh yeah, they tuning in. They tuning in. Y'all, if y'all just tuning in now, share the live. Share the live for us. We're about to get into some real deep topics here. You can also see the count on the screen too. Nazir.
Yes, sir.
You can see the count on the screen too as well. Are you sharing it out to the people?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, for sure. Make sure y'all share the live as well. If y'all got any questions, y'all want to add in on this interview, tune in. How's everybody doing on this? Is it Tuesday? It's Tuesday already, man. We here. We in the building.
All right, we in there.
Well, I appreciate you for coming, man.
Well, I appreciate you for having me, beloved.
Much love, respect. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it ain't. It's your boy Southside Cheetah Lake Street Legend, aka Big Church, and we got a special guest in the building today. The one, the only, Nazir X. How you feeling, man?
I'm doing well, brother.
Doing
what
well?
I'm saying? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, I like that. For the people that don't know, and for the people that's just now tuning in, let the people know a little bit about who you are and what you do and your services that you provide.
Most definitely. Well, start off with the greetings. Peace and love, shalom, assalamu alaikum, hotep, and black power to all of my revolutionaries out there. My name is Brother Nazir X. I am the national president of the Line of Judah Armed Forces, as well as the national president of the soon to become as well, Black Panther humanitarians. I am a human rights, civil rights, community activist, as well as a humanitarian for the brothers and sisters and the people that's out here. We are the vanguards of our community. We must make sure that we unlearn the lies and rebirth the mind. Unlearn the lies of what? White supremacy, and rebirth the mind with the knowledge of self by turning back to our heritage, our culture, our traditions, our language, everything that have been stripped away from us by the so-called white man, the oppressor themselves. We must turn back to, so therefore we can become a structured, unified nation again.
I really respect that, and I appreciate everything that you're doing for the community here in Minnesota. What are some things that made you want to get into that type of field or that type of work?
Well, after fluently and faithfully being able to dig deep into the ancient chronicles and historical records of our ancestors, and seeing where we came from, where we come from as a nation of people, and also seeing the reason behind our downfall as a nation of people, and seeing the conditions that we're in and prophecies and everything playing out, seeing that the good book, what our people call the Holy Bible, many of our people don't even know that the good book itself is a Black historical book. Right. The book itself is talking about us as a nation of people. It's letting us know what happened from the very beginning of the foundation of our ancestors all the way up to our downfall as a nation of people. And what a lot of our people don't realize is the reason behind our downfall is our disobedience. We didn't want to obey structure. We didn't want to obey order. We didn't want to obey the instruction manual. We turned away from the instructions and guidance of our divine creator. And that led to our downfall. So after I realized this, and I've seen it because it's right in front of us, and you see it on a day-to-day basis.
For sure.
That's what made me get involved in this. And I'm not even going to say it's me doing it, because I truly believe that it's a calling. You know, everybody is searching for their calling, but everybody don't
Definitely.
find their calling. So
For
I
sure.
feel that this is my calling, and I was called and I was sent to be a helper of the people.
We got a commenter here saying, "Facts, talk your shit, God." Shout out to Anton Johnson. Make sure you share the live. So with that being said, you into politics, I believe, heavy.
I'm not really into the politics, although we call it politricks, because one thing that our people got to overstand is this: we must stop voting for our oppressors, man. How long have we been voting for our oppressors? I'm talking about the president election. I don't have an issue with us voting on a local level. But what we must understand is when you out here voting for these main presidents and all this stuff, it's not going to do you any good. Our ancestors have, for many years, have been fighting for reparations.
Right.
After we didn't built this country up, and we continue to keep putting a white man in the seat, thinking that this white man is going to be our Messiah and that this white man is going to free us as a nation of people. It's not going to happen, man. It's not going to happen. Barack Obama, he couldn't do it. Reason why he couldn't do it because he was just a puppet. You know what I'm saying? He was a puppet working for the people.
You think he was a puppet?
Most definitely.
What makes you think he was a puppet?
Well, Barack Obama wasn't able to give us reparations. Barack Obama wasn't able to unite us and liberate us as a nation of people. A president, you have certain presidents and people and promises that have been made towards us as a nation of people on behalf of reparations. True. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This country have made a promise of 40 acres and a mule that they have not kept.
True.
So you still see our people running around here with their hands out, depending on the white man to give them reparations. And again, what I'm going to say is this: y'all need to start voting and putting your own people in the office, especially locally. We have the most power locally. So I don't really get into the politics and the things that's been taking place, just like with the Donald Trump situation and so forth, but we'll get there.
We'll get into that. Well, what did you think about him getting assassin or an attempt assassination? Do you think it was real? Do you think it was staged? Do you think what are your thoughts on that?
The earth, Job 9:24 says, the earth has been given to the hands of the wicked.
Okay.
Right? So what many of our people don't realize is this: you have different type or kinds of people who reside on this earth realm. You have your lost sheep and you have your awakened.
Yep.
Your lost sheep are the ones who believe in every single thing that they see on tell live vision or tell a lie through a vision, right? They believe everything they see on there.
Yeah.
Without doing any proper investigation and research.
Nope.
Without digging deep into it.
Nope.
All they have to do is put something on media or tell live vision, and our people will jump on the bandwagon and believe it. So
True
with me,
enough.
on behalf of it, the earth is one big stage.
Yeah.
Okay. The president election politics, that's your Hollywood too. So with Donald Trump and that whole situation, what I feel and believe on it, I feel it's another distraction.
Okay.
Because notice that when Barack Obama was running, and at the end of his election, what kept him in office for that other 4 years, because he was in there for eight years total, right?
Yeah.
So what kept him at the end of that fourth election, there was a major catastrophe that took place,
right?
Which was a war and stuff, right?
Yep.
After that, you had your Trump in the office, right?
Yep.
When Trump came into office, after that 4 years, what happened? It was another major catastrophe. Yep. You had your COVID-19 all of a sudden pop out of the blue on this fourth year.
Yep.
Now you got your Biden in the office, your fourth year, this year, his last year, another major catastrophe pop off where he does what? You have war pops off where you got your Russia and your Ukraine.
Yeah.
You got all this war that's taking place. All of a sudden at the end of this major catastrophe.
Live, y'all.
And not only that, you have Donald Trump, who's running for the president election, and here's another major distraction for him to receive votes and to try to get him put in the office as well. So, long story short, what I feel and what I know is that all of this is just one big act.
Mm. So you feel like the assassination attempt was an act?
Absolutely.
It was planned.
Most definitely.
Most
All
definitely.
of these things was planned and orchestrated beforehand. The earth is one big stage, and the people are the ones who are the sheep who just follow along.
So do you think the person that the bullet hit actually was that a casualty of war? I mean, not a casualty of war, but like let's say damn, I forget what's the word for it. I don't know the word that I'm looking for right now, but there were two people that actually died in that assassination attempt. And do you think that was planned?
Well, how do you know they died?
Well, there's no way to know anybody died if we're gonna go that way.
You know?
Osama bin Laden could still be alive.
Right.
Tupac could still be alive.
Right.
Biggie,
I mean,
Julio,
how do you know they died?
Fulio,
Like,
everybody could still be alive. If that's the case.
I mean, how you know they died? Like, where is the actual evidence on behalf of these people who died? You know, I mean, how do you not know that these are props? How do you not know that Donald Trump wasn't shot by a paintball bullet? You know, how do you know that the people in the stands where they showed the blood and stuff in the stands, how do you know that wasn't paintball bullets as well? That's just red props or something. How do we actually know this? We jump. The only reason why we say that two people died is that's because what media put out there. But we also got to understand that the media lies a lot.
You're right about that. You're right about that. So moving on with Donald Trump, how do you feel about his 34 felonies?
The 34 felonies is this. What white America is doing right now and what they're showing us as a nation of people is that white privilege still exists.
For sure.
What do I mean by that? Is how is it that you get charged and convicted for 34 counts of felonies, right? And you're still able to run for the United States. You're still able to run for president in the United States of America. Notice, being a president, that is still a job.
Right.
That's a job. That's considered a job, man.
For sure.
So this man got 34 counts of felony and he's still able to uphold and keep a job.
Yeah.
Compared to us as indigenous Aboriginal people. If we even have one felony, if we even have a misdemeanor, these white corporations and these jobs gives us the most hardest times in being able to find employment and being able to find a job to feed our families, to take care of our homes, to take care of our wives, and so forth, to even take care of our responsibilities. They sit up there and lynch us on a day-to-day basis.
Not to cut you off, but Sean Richardson just commented. He said the charges was fake. That's why. He says no one felony Trump has. Name one felony Trump has. Because he's talking about the 34 counts.
Well, all they got to do is go and do their research. He clearly was convicted for 34 counts of felonies. Clearly. All you got to do is your research on that. You know, but at the end of the day, white privilege still exists and it's still real. And that's just what it is.
Without a doubt.
And they continue to keep showing it and putting it in front of our faces. And we as a nation of people got to wake up and realize that, you know, even in the 20th century, racism still exists. And racism only exists by governments who's in the higher powers, who has higher power and more power structure. That is how racism exists. Just one individual can't be racist. It has to be ran by a governmental structure that's in power. And that's your America.
The system.
Absolutely.
The system. So let's talk about really quick the gentrification of Minneapolis and its risen crime, since we're on the topic.
Most definitely. Beautiful. So This is how it works in all black communities throughout the United Snakes of America.
Okay.
Is wherever we reside
Yep.
as a nation of people,
Yep.
crime is always the forefront. Self-genocide is always the forefront. But notice, this same behavior that you see us operating out of, this same hatred, self-hatred, this genocide
Yep.
that you see us continuing to operate out of as a nation of people, your oppressors have taught it to us. Because this goes back to slavery. These are the effects of slavery.
True.
They turned us against each other. They turned the black man against another black man, the woman against the black man, the child against their mother and father. They have turned us against each other as a whole, destroying the family structure. And then you look at us today. These same effects are hindering our community. This is called psychological warfare. So now, when we have our inner community and you see what's going on, crime, the very same self-hatred that have been taught to us and embedded into our minds,
Yep.
is happening all throughout the USA within the black community.
Definitely. You're
They
right
give
on
it to us. We have our village. All of our communities, these are villages. Once crime takes place, what do they move in with? The crime takes place, they lock up majority of the men.
Yep.
Because the penitentiaries and jails are filled with black men. We're the highest in the penitentiaries and jails. And then once they lock up our brothers, they start to come in. Now you have your systematic racism.
Yep.
But now you have your redlining.
Yep.
And your redlining comes in also with discrimination and racism, where now your rent, what you're paying monthly, is risen.
Exactly.
Your rent has risen now. Now they went up on the prices on your rent monthly, and also everything else within the community has went up
as well.
So now that's how they get you. If rent is continuing to rise, but your hourly wage stays the same, or you probably go up 10 cents, or you might go up 50 cents. It's still not enough, because now rent have risen $80 or probably $100 within that year. And you're not making enough to even get by. At all. And now crime is destroying your entire village to the point of nobody wants to move there. At all. Yeah. Nobody wants to move there. Nobody wants to live in these environments.
Happens in Ohio, Detroit, a lot of places.
Yeah. And in these houses, they get boarded up because of this ongoing self-hatred and genocide and this risen crime, right?
Make sure y'all share the live.
So
we appreciate the comments.
So after this stuff takes place, everything rises. Guess who's behind that? The government, the system. They're behind these prices being risen. They're behind all of this, all of these works. So now you got your mother, you got your relatives. Now they're saying, look, I can't even afford to be here no more. What do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna leave. Now they gotta move out. Now they have to leave. So now that you're moving out and you're packing up your bags and you're leaving from your village, your community, they're coming in. And when they're coming in, they're reimbursing, they're rebuilding, they're restructuring, and they're investing into this community to the point of now you look up, it's slowly being gentrified, where you have Caucasian people coming in. Now they running down the streets with their dogs. The streets are more, now they're fixing the streets. There ain't that many more potholes. You got brand new streets. Now in North Minneapolis, they had the nerves to put and build. What they're doing is building a railroad
Yeah, the light rail. Yeah,
The light rail.
going right through
Excuse me, the
Broadway.
light rail.
Yeah.
They're building a light rail down the middle of Broadway.
Yeah,
Of Broadway.
yeah.
Look, Broadway, I don't care what nobody say. Broadway should be your modern day Black Wall Street because that is predominantly ran by Black people.
It should, yeah.
It should have been your modern day Black Wall Street. But the fact that we as a nation of people don't stand up against the evil within our community and we allow it to happen, we allow them to come in and take over. We allow them to come in and gentrify. So at the end of the day, it's really our fault. Because if we stood up as a nation together in unity and started holding these criminals accountable for the atrocities and the murders and the wickedness and evil they're committing in our community, we would still have our community.
Yeah.
But when they see we tearing down our community and we're destroying our village, they ain't gonna give a damn.
Why would
They're gonna be like, hey, y'all don't respect it, so we'll take it. So that is what's going on within your modern day gentrification, man. Dealing with a lot of racism, discrimination, and not only that, we got to hold ourselves accountable for our actions as well, because we're destroying our villages.
For sure. Would you say that today is a modern day Jim Crow era?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, real quick. We got a comment. Read it out to the people right here. This is from Love Victoria. Should be pretty good for you on the screen.
Most definitely.
I'm saying read it out. So
which one? Love Victoria?
Yep, it's right there on the screen.
Okay. We so conditioned to not stand up and stick together, it's too late. Too many of us not listening. We got to repair what we can and educate those who will listen. Hallelujah. I'm telling you, that's where we have to start. You got to have a starting place, you know, and we must unite with like-minded brothers and sisters.
Definitely.
You know, for example, just to add on to what the sister was saying there, you know, there's a scripture and what a lot of people overlook and can't see clearly when reading and dealing with the scriptures, because a lot of time it's broken down from a Christianity perspective and mindset. When Sodom and Gomorrah,
she said, imagine being in World War II with this society.
Exactly. But check this out, just to add on to what she's saying, and also the whole little gentrification. Sodom and Gomorrah was this great city.
Yep.
Right? And let's say in this great city, you have many villages within it. Right? But Sodom and Gomorrah was a sinful city. And notice what the creator of the heavens and earth had to do to Sodom and Gomorrah to cleanse it. What he had to do was he had to baptize Sodom and Gomorrah. Not with water, with fire.
That's crazy.
With fire. When you baptize something, scripturally, it means to cleanse.
Right.
To cleanse the leavening or uncleanliness that's within you. And that's what he did to Sodom and Gomorrah, which was a wicked city. He had to baptize it and cleanse it with fire. And long story short, people don't want to hear it, but this is what's going to have to take place within our villages. It needs a cleansing. So therefore, we need to make sure we come together with like-minded brothers and sisters who says enough is enough.
No, you're right. Speaking of that, she comes in with another comment, says black men and women need each other, but yet won't keep our wealth in our communities. And too many of us will buy materials, but never gain wealth. And that would follow up with another comment. Our families ain't passing down nothing, just pain and trauma.
Woo! That's deep. That's that right. See, that's what you call an awakened sister.
Definitely.
She's awakened. And what she said is 100% accurate and true. Because when you look at our families, we don't study, nor do we teach our children about generational wealth.
Shout out Jakari, shit alive, brother.
We don't study, nor do we teach our children about financial literacy. when you look at us as a nation of people, and again, this isn't individualist or individualism. We need to remove that mindset. We need to start thinking as a nation, as one body, as a whole.
Right.
Okay? When you look at us as a nation, the generational curses are continuing amongst us. It's continuing to happen. And the reason why it's continuing to happen is because, again, like she's saying, where is the generational wealth? Where is the generational inheritance for our children, our children's children? Where is it at? Families, people are having children out of wedlock, children out of children, just having children and children and children. But then, after you have children, when you die, you're not passing anything down or leaving nothing to your children. But when you look at the Caucasian, when you look at all of these other nations, when the mother or the father dies, their children are left with something. We need to make sure we apply this education in our homes a lot more on a day-to-day basis.
Definitely.
To our children, so that way we're able to pass on generational wealth and also inheritance to our children.
For sure. Jakari Hawkins chimes in again. He says the Most High is pleased with 3 generations of wealth. Me, my sons, and my grandsons, which carries our names for over 209 years.
That's right. Hallelujah. And that's something that, we as a nation of people, we have to get used to. We got to mobilize. We have to put in place, because these things are important. What's the purpose of having children if you have no goal and you have no vision for the future of those children?
Exactly.
Because when you're gone, your children are the future.
Yeah.
They continue on with that lineage in those generations. So we must make sure, as scripture says, Proverbs 22, he says, train up a child in the way that he or she should go. When they get old, they should not depart from those ways.
Right.
So we must make sure that we train our children while they are young, not when they're 15, when they are young, when they're teachable at 3, 4, 5. We must make sure we're teaching them righteousness. We're teaching them and embedding into their minds the importance on generational wealth, self-respect, self-love, inheritance, and the morals and rules and regulations of our divine creator.
Definitely. The comments are coming in swift. They say, Tiffany Peterson, shout out to you. Shed a lot if you're still tuned in. She says, also these pharmaceutical companies need to be held accountable. These blues are definitely a problem. Legal codeine and meth and other man-made drugs have murdered so many people.
Most definitely. And speaking on the pharmaceutical company, the pharmaceutical industry is your biggest drug dealers. Definitely. That's your biggest drug dealers. Okay. While they sitting up here locking up all of our brothers and all of our sisters for drug crimes or whatever, the biggest drug dealer is the pharmaceutical industry. Okay. But I'm going to say something to my brothers and sisters. I want to give you some knowledge and wisdom real quick. Your pharmaceutical company, the real one, is our divine creator, the Most High, who gave us instructions. And he tells us in the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 29, he says, for I have given you every yielding seed, for you it shall be for meat. Every herb, right? What he's referring to is that he have given us fruits. He have given us vegetables. He have given us the herbs. He have given us the valuable nutritions, everything that we need to be able to heal ourselves, to be able to cure sicknesses, to be able to cure diseases, to be able to cure all these things. The Most High have already given it to us. Even in the book of Psalms and Proverbs, he speaks about that he have given us every herb, and for every fruit and herb shall be the healing of the nations.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So what we need to do as a nation of people, we need to turn back to the very instructions that our creator have given to us and make sure we focus on the foods that we insert into our bodies, because you are what you eat. If you're going to eat your swine, if you're going to eat your seafood, if you're going to eat any of these animals or these creatures that carry parasites and uncleanliness, guess what? Your body is going to be filled with parasites and uncleanliness.
You are what you eat.
So therefore, we must make sure we turn back to our herbs, our fruits, our vegetables, our vitamins, the natural resources that our Creator have left for us. So therefore, we would not have to turn to the wicked, demonic, satanic pharmaceutical industry.
Definitely. Big point. Big point. Love Victoria comes back in with a comment. Shout out to you. Share the live if you haven't already. She says, say no to drugs, learn healthy coping mechanisms, don't medicate for mental health, and only medicate for pain when necessary. Then we got another comment. Malik Carter. It's only getting worse. All the role models, literally died. They literally died, putting their lives on the line to get truth out on the same stuff you were saying. People will never learn.
Absolutely. And that's something I'm glad. Who was that made that last comment?
Malik Curtis.
Malik, you made a very, 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 very great point. What we need to do and what we need to learn to do is protect our leaders. We need to learn to protect our leaders and our role models and our Black messiahs. Because when you look at every other nation that's on the face of the earth, they protect their leaders. They protect their presidents. Every nation. But when it comes to us and our people, we don't want to protect our leaders. Instead, we carry this sickness and this disease called jealousy, envy, and hate, to the point of when we see one of our leaders trying to unite us as a nation of people, we don't want to protect them. We want to talk down on them. We want to belittle them. We want to pull them down. We want to do everything in our power and our will to destroy their reputation. But we must reverse the sickness that have been taught to us, that have been given to us by our oppressors. We must reverse it. Reverse it. And then start protecting your leaders.
For sure. That seems to be a big case in the Black community, but in Minnesota, just here in general. Let's see, we got a couple more questions for you. So Long Island man charged butchering woman's body with an axe. Have you heard about that? And if you have, give us some more details on your thoughts on the matter.
Most definitely. First off, I would like to say my deepest and most sincerest condolences to our beloved brother Malik, the son of his mother, Yvette Leonard, who was found dismembered in Long Island, New York. The Lion of Judah Armed Forces and myself, we traveled down to Long Island, New York, because Malik, her son, was worried about his mother missing. His mother also had a disability. He was looking for his mother already prior to 4 days by the time we got down there. According to the law, if you have a disability and you're an elder, a silver alert is supposed to be issued within 72 hours. There was no silver alert. There was a detective on the case, and he also had a case number, which means he reported it to the police department. Now, you're in 4 or 5 days. There's no silver alert. There's no media attention. There's nothing. So we got involved and we went down there and we held a press conference. And I demanded the Long Island Police Department and even the detective to take this case extremely, extremely serious, because this mother was doing things. Every day she had a normal and a regular schedule where she carried out the same task every single day, where she'll come outside, she'll sit on her porch, she'll have a Black and Mild or smoke a cigarette, wave to the community, wave to the neighbors, everybody in the community, the neighbors and everything. They knew her very well. And she had a wonderful reputation within the community until this one day she disappears. She comes home every night. She's not the type of individual not to answer her phone. So, during the proper and thorough investigation that I dug into and speaking with the son, that's when I realized, okay, no, this right here, this is something fishy that's going on. And I had to demand a detective and them to take this a lot serious. And instead of eating donuts and drinking coffee and sitting on their fat asses, excuse my language, I said, you need to take this case extremely serious, as if it was your mother, a white woman. Because I'm going to tell you, if it was a white woman, they would have been on this case instantly. Way before 72 hours, it would have been a silver alert out if it was a white, elderly, missing woman with a disability, and it would have had media coverage.
Definitely.
National media coverage. But the fact that it was a Black woman, they didn't give a damn about her whereabouts, nor did they care. And eventually it would have became a cold case. But not on our watch, buddy. Not on our watch. Not on our watch. If we're paying our taxes and we're paying your taxes, you work for us. We don't work for you. So therefore, if you work for us, you need to get up and get out and do your damn job. And do it right and do it properly. And that discrimination madness and that racism madness, we're not going to tolerate. Treat our elders and our people the same way you're going to treat white people. And not only that, not even 24 hours after the press conference, the detective, after it finally get media attention, the detective, even the DA and them that got involved, they was right out there on them streets, boots on the ground.
Yeah.
And next you know, they started to receive more answers. They started getting they started to look at camera footages on the houses, the Ring cameras on homes. They started to look on, the camera footages on the corners at stores, businesses. And then they started to track her down and where she went to. They started to dig deep to where she was at last. Who home she was at. I myself even went to the murderer's home. I didn't know that he was the murderer, but I went over there to investigate it because something was fishy. But I even went over there, and when I went over there, he tried to hide.
No.
So I told him, I said, look, y'all need to get over here and do your damn job. Because there's a lot of suspicious activity over here, homie. So they went over there, started to do their investigation on the house and the home and et cetera, on the individual, the boyfriend of hers. Then they came up and found more information. And then the boyfriend eventually spoke up after I told them, whoever you are, if you are the murderer, if you are the kidnapper, if you have anything to do with this woman's whereabouts, you need to stand up, speak up, and say something and quit being a dang on coward hiding. And after that, he went to the detective and he told the detectives what happened.
Yeah.
And he told the detectives her whereabouts. And what happened to this sister, this mother, man, It was a black man who looked like you and I.
Yeah.
This woman she wasn't doing nothing wicked. She wasn't doing no drug trafficking or nothing that would be justifiable for something like this to happen. This man grabbed an axe while she was over his home at night. And he had roommates in the home that he shared it with. And this man dismembered this woman's body into pieces. A black man did this to a black woman.
Self-hate.
Negro, you came from a black woman.
Right.
How dare you dismember this woman's body into pieces and then put it in a shopping cart and take her out into the field and scatter her body pieces out in the field? Oh, yeah. Imagine if we never came down there, brother, and demanded and held them, that DA and the detective that was on the case accountable. They would have never found this woman because they didn't care.
Sad.
And what's even more crazy is that I just got a call today.
Yeah.
About here in Minneapolis North.
Okay.
Where another elderly woman, brother, was raped.
Mm.
And not only was she raped, her body was thrown out in front of the church on the sidewalk like she was a damn piece of trash. There's no media attention, no media coverage.
This is here in Minnesota.
This is here in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where another elderly woman was raped and murdered and thrown out like her life meant nothing. And no one is saying anything about it, not even a word from the community. Where are the people who stand up and say something and gather themselves together when it's police brutality? Where are you at when our mothers are being raped and murdered in your communities? Come together and speak up and stand up and hold these individuals accountable and find and seek answers the same way you do when it's police brutality. This don't make no sense, man. This could be any one of you mothers, any one of your mothers.
Selective politicking.
Exactly. This could be any one of your mothers. Don't wait until it come knocking at your door before you stand up and finally care and say something.
He said, say that now. You know. He done gave him a lot. Before you go, though, I do want us to go over a couple things. We're working on a few things down the pipeline. You know, me and you've had a relationship for quite some time now. I want to know your feedback personally on this platform, and what do you think is some advice that you could give me to make it get bigger? Maybe give some, even if the people that's in the comments that are watching or listening, if you guys feel free to chime in as well.
The advice that I would give to Live on Lake Street is we need more of our own Black-owned media companies.
Right.
Live on Lake Street has a great following, a large following in the state of Minnesota, and probably it's expanding.
I appreciate that.
Please, brother, and I mean please, brother Chief.
Yeah.
Start to use this Black-owned media company to spread more truth.
Okay.
To us as a nation of people. And not only that, use this platform to teach and educate the minds of our youth, the minds of our people. Use this because it's way too many media companies, Black owned, that's out here using it for all of the wrong things.
Right.
Now we know you're gonna do your thing.
Right.
We know you're gonna put your music out there, you're gonna do your thing. We know it. We know the culture.
Right.
But at the same time, you want to keep a balance where we have the culture, but it's a respectable culture. We shouldn't have a culture where you have musicians that's out here making music, but at the same time, you're shooting each other, you're murdering each other, you're beefing with each other when you see each other because of what someone have said, because somebody's spreading gossip or somebody's spreading slander.
Right.
But the thing is this, the main reason why a lot of Black medias do this, and they operate out of the nature of slander, the nature of gossip, is because our people love drama.
Yeah.
They love drama. You know, the book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, verse 22 says that our people are wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge. And our people are swift to shed innocent blood.
Yes.
So what we as a nation of people need to turn from is that destructive behavior, as well as Live on Lake Street being used as a platform to edify, educate, uplift our brothers and sisters, because they need more of it. They need more of it.
I appreciate that word, man.
Most definitely, beloved.
It means a lot. Let the people know where they can follow you, where they can find you, where they can get in tune if they need to hire you, all your social media links and stuff like that.
Most definitely. You can find me on Facebook at Nasir Nasir. That's NASIY space NASIR. That's NASIY space NASIR. You can also find me and follow me on Instagram at official Nasir Nasir X. That's official Nasir Nasir X. Official NASIY NASIR X. As well as on TikTok, you can find me as Nasir Nasir X as well. So again, brothers and sisters, if you're dealing with any police brutality, self-genocide, if you're dealing with any family members that's missing, if you're dealing with any cases that's dealing with domestic violence, if you're dealing with anything that's dealing with civil rights, you can, and human right violations, you can always reach out to me, because I am here and I am sent to be a helper of my people.
We appreciate you, Nasir Nasir X. It's another episode of Live on Lake Street. I'm your host, Southside Chief, Lake Street Legend. Make sure you follow us everywhere at Live on Lake Street. It's a wrap. Appreciate you, man. We out.